reality about 17 years ago. That's the reality of the company today. We are developing a really unique, disruptive and innovative climate technology that effectively produces clean hydrogen and graphite with zero emissions that's getting picked up by global industry as we speak. I want to start with the market because I think the market sets a lot of context on what we're doing as a company. If you look at the market today, it's about 100 million tonnes per annum. A lot of people don't appreciate actually how big the market is for hydrogen. All of that is used for two things: desulfurizing crude oil and ammonia production and fertilizer production, two very, very big industries. All of that is produced with one process called steam methane reforming. I refer to it as dirty hydrogen. Every tonne of hydrogen produced today is associated with about 11 tonnes of CO2. So it's actually producing more CO2 than it is hydrogen. And that is our disruption as a market. So a very big market that is effectively ripe for disruption with a clean technology. So what does Hazer do? Hazer is a low emissions, low cost pyrolysis technology. We're not green hydrogen, and I'll come to what that means shortly. We're producing clean hydrogen and we're producing graphite at the same time. We effectively take any methane-rich feedstock, LNG, gas, biogas, wastewater treatment gas, anything that's methane-rich, and those who follow gas markets know that methane is 25 times more harmful than CO2. And effectively, we accelerate the decarbonisation of gas by converting it and splitting it into pure hydrogen and carbon in the form of graphite with zero emissions. Okay? Now, the X factor that we bring to the entire industry that's under IP in 32 jurisdictions around the world with 64 patents under 4 IP families is the use of a catalyst, an iron ore catalyst. It's cheap and it's very abundant, and it dramatically reduces the temperature of our reaction to about 700 to 900 degrees. Everybody else in the world that's doing this is doing it about 1500, 1800 and 2000 degrees Celsius. So you can see immediately the disruption that we have and the competitive advantage that we have relative to others, and we can be even up to half of the cost of most hydrogen production technologies today. One technology that serves 3 very important and valuable markets: the hydrogen market, the critical mineral market through graphite, and overall industry decarbonisation. Okay, so let's break down hydrogen technologies a little bit, because there's a bit of news flow on hydrogen going on at the moment, and you will have seen Fortescue pulling out of some of its big projects. Hazer, we talked about natural gas in, electricity in to produce hydrogen and graphite. Okay, zero emissions, very low carbon intensity, very low energy intensity, so our power requirement and our cost is low. We're available today and ready to deploy at scale as a very advanced technology. Steam methane reforming, I spoke about today's incumbent technology. Dirty hydrogen, every tonne of hydrogen is 11 tonnes of CO2. That's the CO2 footprint per kilogram. You can see how small we are relative to that. That's our disruption immediately today. Electrolyzers, what firms like Fortescue and others do, they split water. Okay? It's 7 times harder chemically to split water than it is to split methane and gas. That's thermodynamics, okay? You'll never change it, so you need 7 times more energy to do it. It's 7 times the cost. And that's the principal reason why green hydrogen projects today are not commercially viable, all right? You can see the numbers. It's 55 kilowatt hours to do that, and it's 8 kilowatt hours to do what we do, okay? And it's not readily available today to scale up to large industrial scales that are required by industry. Right, we plug in. So think of any refinery, ammonia facility, methanol plant, LNG facility, anywhere in the world, a big industrial complex that needs decarbonising, that currently uses hydrogen or will use hydrogen in the future. We effectively are co-located and plug into any industrial site, eliminating the requirement for transporting hydrogen around the world and all the complexity that comes with that. We simply provide hydrogen to the customer at the demand centre. Okay? That reinforces the low-cost model. Here's the cost picture, which is the most exciting piece about it. We can deliver clean hydrogen today for about $1 a kilogram less in the US. All right? That's extremely competitive relative to today's technologies and also relative to of course, green hydrogen. In Asia, it's a little bit higher because gas feedstock prices are higher, but we can still deliver clean hydrogen in Asia for around $2 to $3 a kilogram. Okay, so these numbers drive out very attractive economics for project proponents and users of the technology. And the margins are exceptionally high for the users of the tech. We've scaled this technology up 5 times. It's not new, it's been on a 15 to 17-year journey. 5 successful scale-ups of the technology to a commercial demonstration plant. This is TRL7, all right? This is the most advanced technology stage you'll get before you go commercial, all right? So this is now operating in Perth. We started up the plant in January of this year. It's going very well. We're about doing 2 things here. Demonstrating the technology works at commercial scale on a continuous basis. It's not about proving the tech anymore. It's about getting it ready for commercialization with our commercial customers, right? We've just gone through 180 hours of continuous operation. We've just started up our 5th campaign in the last few days. So a really exciting demonstration. Since we've had this online, we've had so much customer interest in the tech, and we've signed another 2 deals for licensing. We have got a growing footprint of customers worldwide. You can see there they are. I mean, this is validating the technology. Some of these customers have been looking at our tech and doing diligence on the technology for 2 years, right? And they've chosen Hazer as their principal decarbonisation technology. Our target markets: North America, Europe, and Asia. In Asia, we're teaming up with POSCO. I'll talk about them shortly. Mitsui on our graphite. In Europe, ONG, which is a very large gas utility, and in North America, a company the size of, in fact, 2 times the size of Origin Energy. What's more exciting is behind all this, we have no fewer than 30 conversations with global customers in steel making, oil and gas majors, power generators, utilities. Anybody who currently either uses hydrogen or has a growth trajectory to decarbonise industry is looking at our tech. Fortis, I talked about, 2 times the size of Origin Energy. They're a massive gas utility based in Vancouver, in British Columbia. We've been working with them for 2 years. We've just signed a binding agreement for a license structure and framework. We'll finalise the numbers towards the end of this year. We are actually delivering under that agreement early revenue because we've got an engineering service agreement now that delivers effectively our resources, our costs back plus a premium. So we're starting to mature as a company. And we're targeting an FID for that project in 2025, and that's when the revenue streams will start flowing for the technology. POSCO, big industry, big player, massive problem. Steel making is responsible for about, I think it's about 10 to 11% of the world's CO2 emissions, and it's responsible for about 8% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. So a massive industry with a massive problem. You've all heard about green steel. POSCO is the 6th largest steel maker on the planet. They operate 2 of the world's largest steel facilities in Korea, Pohang and Gwangyang, and they've chosen our technology above everyone else to decarbonise green steel. Okay? This could be massive for us because they need in the order of about 200,000 tonnes per annum of clean hydrogen by 2050. So this could be a massive opportunity for us to really deploy our technology at scale. It'll start around 3,000 to 5,000 tonnes per annum, and then we'd expect it to grow from there. But watch this space with POSCO. They're a big player that are really serious about green steel. Graphite, don't talk a lot about it, but it's a massive value kicker for us. You've heard lots about the graphite market. China threatened to step on the hose a year or so ago. Of the 10 critical minerals that Australia has on the list, they produce 9. The one they don't produce is graphite. So it's obviously quite a volatile market, but it's quite an important critical mineral. Hazer, by virtue of its technology, actually has, I don't like to call it a byproduct, a co-product in graphite, and high purity graphite that can be produced at scale and large volumes of it. Right? So it's a really unique product that can go into steel making, into water purification, into thermal energy storage, and in the long run, lithium-ion batteries and other things. So a really unique product. We've teamed up with Mitsui, one of the largest trading groups in the world that are really across the coal, the met coke markets and other things. They've done significant testing on our product. and we've tested it in a lot of the industries that I just spoke about, and we're getting really good feedback for it. Prices range in the order of somewhere between $600 and $1,000 a tonne. Not that we need it, but it's another value kicker for our technology as we start to kind of produce large-scale volumes at our commercial centres. We're a licensing model. We're 25 people. Most of our team are engineers. We don't have project level participation, and therefore we don't take CapEx level risk. We just collect license fees from our commercial partners. Okay, and so that is a very attractive model. When you're not taking project risk or CapEx risk, you're effectively collecting license fees from FID and then royalties from first production. Our first FID is as early as next year. This could be a substantial income stream for our company. Royalties on hydrogen, carbon offsets, we hope in the long run, but certainly graphite production. Okay. Buckle up, we've got a massively busy 12 months ahead of us, like every company out there, I'm sure, but commercial demonstration plant is doing what it says on the tin. We've just been through 100 hours, in fact 180 hours, we're just around the corner from 240 hours. That's enough to demonstrate the tech works on a commercial basis. We're going to call commercial readiness by the end of the year. It's an important milestone for the tech, but less so. We're kind of running and shooting at the same time because we're developing a tech, but we've got commercial demand. So we're kind of trying to do two things at once. Fortis, I talked about in Canada, early revenues just around the corner through our engineering service agreement, and then the final license terms by the end of the year. FID sometime next year, so that project's on a tear. The same again in Japan. Look, I'd be very surprised in the next 12 months if we haven't, again, matured some of those commercial conversations into real projects, either strategic investors in the tech, either customers for the tech, or strategic partners like groups like big engineering companies, which are going to support the acceleration of our tech into a marketing platform. And that has got the potential to really proliferate the technology into the hands of those that are looking for it. Corporate updates, really just about where we are financially. We just raised recently. We've got a strong cash balance. We've also got, again, another healthy R&D rebate coming through this quarter. We've got more arena funding coming from the federal government that's due latter part of this year, early part of next year, and then we're front running in a few other federal and state grants. So we've got lots of non-dilutive inflows. We've got a strong cash position that will see us through some of these significant milestones. That's it. This is a very differentiated story in the hydrogen space. I know you will have heard a lot about Fortescue and other things. This is not a green hydrogen project. It is a low emissions, low cost, very advanced hydrogen technology that is being validated and endorsed by some of the world's largest companies that are looking for a decarbonisation solution. They could have chosen any technology. They chose Hazer after extensive due diligence. We are in the downdraft of a lot of the hydrogen news at the moment, so you can imagine we're probably trading close to our 52-week low. The company is in the strongest place we've ever been, strong cash position. We've got 4 commercial partnerships that have just jumped on board in the last 12 months as a result of the technology advancement, and we're really excited about the next 12 months. I'll take some questions. Thank you.
I don't mind sharing. Why don't you can grab your phone too? Is that your phone there? Hey, take that. It's from I can sell it. I can buy shares in the company. Next up, we're going to hear from James Hill. Off you go. Put your hands together for everyone. Thank you so much. We're going to hear from James Hill. Here comes James now, Chief Operating Officer at Singular Health Group, on how a little West Australian technology company